Hi, can you tell me your name and where you come from?
My name is Noblin. I come from central Uganda, that is Kampala region. I stayed there with my kids. I had my kids earlier, and they were growing, kids, feeling happy with them, promising. I was busy there as somebody who was in the 30s, going to 30s, and then that's how my life was disturbed, and I had to come to UK. I came to UK when I'm 36, going to 36 there.
So just going back to before you had your children,
Yeah.
who did you live with in Uganda?
I lived with my kids.
Before your children?
Before my kids, I lived with my partner.
What about before your partner? Your mom, your dad, your early childhood memories?
I lived very much with my mom.
Okay.
My mom was a nurse, midwife, and he was working in the government hospitals. I lived with her from Mpigi, Tororo. So he was moving places, and then we were together. And my mom had a lame, somebody who suffered from polio.
Okay.
He couldn't walk. And I used to go every Friday, carry a piece of beef, milk, sugar to take to that gentleman. But before that, when I was young, I was asking Mom, what happened to that? Is that your brother? What happened to him?
Yeah.
But he saw that I fear even to go near him. He used to pull me with a bowl of sweets.
Okay.
Bowl of sweets.
How old was you when you was helping this man?
I was, I started schooling, I think I was about seven.
Wow. And did you have to travel a long way to give him this food?
Yeah, I used to, but my mommy was friendly, and he knew all those taxi drivers, and when he goes and he put me on a taxi and say, you take her, and when he gets somewhere there, you take her off the taxi, she will know where to go. Brilliant. And they used to do so. And after that, when I'm going back, that little lame person used to go with me, cross the road with me, and then deposits me on the taxi.
Did you find out who this man was you was helping? Was he your uncle?
Yeah, my uncle.
Your mum's brother?
He was my mom's brother.
Okay. Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I had brothers and sisters, but unfortunately, the elder sister of ours died when I'm still there. And when I had just come to this country, I lost a sister, my young sister. How many brothers
and sisters have you got?
I had three sisters and one brother, but my brother passed away before my elder sister. So when I came this way, I lost two of them. Now I'm left alone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm left alone.
Did your sisters have any children?
Yes.
That you were in contact with?
Yeah, they have children, and I've got my stepsisters there in London, and their children also get contact with me. But this is another country where you care about your immediate family, you don't bother about.
And your father, you mentioned your sister lived with him?
Yeah, my sister lived with me.
Did you see your father?
Yes, I did see my father.
What did he do, and what was his name?
His name was Stephen.
Okay.
Stephen.
And what did he do, Stephen?
Eh?
Did he work?
Stephen,
Your father?
yeah, Stephen. Henry Mukumbia.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
What did
a
he do?
lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
He was a lawyer. But
What was your mother's name?
my mother's name was Yayeri Naruoga.
Okay. And did they originate from Kampala, Uganda, or did they come from somewhere else?
No, they
and
are from.
settle there?
My mom's dad was in Tororo.
Okay.
They are from that side, like, Tororo's eastern. I don't know.
Okay.
But they came to.
Do you know why they came there?
No, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I'm not so inquisitive. I don't ask questions because I had, and now I feel now coming here has opened my brain. I feel if I happen to go back to Uganda, before my brother passes away, the one who is left, there's my cousin brother.
Yeah.
I want to ask him, where are we from?
Yes.
Because they say we might be from Seychelles or India.
Okay.
But I remember my dad wanted to watch those Indians films, and he takes us and he say, Adata actually. Yeah.
So did you used to spend time with your dad and watch Indian films?
Yeah, no, I didn't spend much time with my dad. I spent time with my dad before I started schooling.
Okay.
After I started schooling, I was with my mom. Mm-hmm. But I went during holidays. I used to go to my uncle, and then my uncle used to take us to those films. They were 3 of them on the picture.
Wow.
And then there was another one who wasn't in the picture, but they were saying he was their brother. I think he was from another woman.
Okay.
That is what I'm thinking now when I'm grown up. But we were always 3 brothers in the picture.
Okay. And was it a Bollywood film, or was it a Ugandan film, or an English?
No, it is no.
That you would watch.
I think we went into a cinema hall, but I don't remember.
How do you find life was in UK and in Uganda different?
In Uganda, I think we have extended families, and everybody will be there for you, which is not here. I think, I don't know, because in Uganda, if you are not well, always there will be somebody from the family who will come and stay with you to look after you.
Yeah.
And look after you with one heart. But here, if you are ill, if you don't have anybody, it will depend on the social services, what, which is really, I think, I don't know. Difficult, makes things difficult and worry. Because now, me and Stephen, when I think I've tried very much, I think that when my things comes back, I want to do business so that I don't leave him alone.
Yeah.
I can do business and stay at home at the same time working on these computers. And I've been struggling to learn computer.
Okay.
With this, I've learned a little bit, but I want to learn how to do, if I'm stuck here, how do I do this? And that's why I wanted to get in business so that I'm not far from him.
Okay.
Whenever I go, I do volunteer here. If I do volunteer and I go, he will keep, what time are you coming back? it feels I've gone for ages.
Okay.
I know. And me also, if I were not left enough booked food, I'm worried, what is he eating? Because he might not want to go out. He might not have money to order something. And I'm very far. I get also worried about him. And with his mental status, when he's really disturbed, I get scared. I think that if he is really going to be summoned into a hospital, what am I going to do?
So you feel quite alone in UK?
I feel. It worries me and it worries him. Because he says, when they summon me and I go away, they can summon me for what? Where will I leave you?
The good thing is you have your church and you have support there.
I have my church. But, imagining this COVID really, if I didn't have Stephen,
yes,
I wouldn't be doing these small things like going and ironing for somebody and they give you 20. You see, because you can't go into somebody's house.
Yes. But I just want to go back, if it's okay, Teddy, to your earliest memories of Uganda.
Yeah.
Can you remember going to school there?
Yes, I went to school.
What was that like?
The schools are okay there, but I think English in school we go thick into our mother language.
Yes.
And we don't pick the accent, and we speak like you are speaking Uganda, but we understand each other. But I went to school, and my mom wanted me to take over midwifery.
Okay.
But I didn't take midwifery because she passed away before I finished the senior 2.
Okay.
If I say senior.
So you say you went to boarding school. After primary school, you went to boarding school. You stayed away from home?
No, I went to boarding school in primary.
Wow.
I did primary 1 and primary 2. Primary 1 and 2, I think. And my mom took me to a boarding school.
How old was you?
I started when I was 6. So I think it was about there 9 or what. And my mom put me into the boarding school. He could take me up to the school and then pick me from the school back home. And my elder sister was with my dad, also schooling there. And then my young sister came and we stayed together, me and my young sister.
What was the name of the school? Can you remember?
The name of the school was Gayaza Catholic School. And in Nsube, there's one in Nsube where there was domestic science, and what those people were in domestic science. As soon as I joined about 2 years or something, it stopped. And they closed, but they used to come and teach us how to cook.
Okay.
At
the age of 9, or was you older by this time?
By that time I was about 11.
Okay.
And they teach us how to iron.
Wow.
Why do we iron? How to nurse the babies.
Yeah.
I used to like it.
How long did you do that for?
They closed there about when I was there 2 years, I think.
Okay.
The college closed up. And
that's a shame. I think you was enjoying that.
No, I was very much enjoying it, and they told us you don't only iron for clothes to look nice, but to kill the germs. That was important.
Wow. How old was you when your mum passed away?
My mum passed away in I think I was about, let me see. I think I was about coming to 18 or 15.
Oh, 15.
15. 15.
Who looked after you after that happened?
Eh?
Who took care of you after that happened?
Well, my aunt. And he just passed away now these days. Before we moved, she had dementia.
Okay.
And she passed away. She took over and she looked after me. She pushed a little bit, but she was with the 2 kids to look after, and he was a nurse also.
Okay.
Because most of them they took nurse, and she looked after us until I got a man who impregnated me, and I went and...
How old was you then?
I was, I think, 21.
Okay.
21.
Just going back, after your mum passed away, did you have to sell the house that you was living in, or did your auntie move in with you?
No, they were living in 2 government houses.
Okay.
My mum had no house.
And what about your grandparents? Were they alive when you was small?
Yeah, my daddy's mom was alive when I'm small, and he was very, very brown, and you could...
Your great grandmother?
Yeah.
Can you remember her name?
Zerida. Zerida.
You were saying she was very, very brown.
Very, very brown, and he was really like a queen.
Wow.
Because the sons, they really liked her. She had a house of her own with a toilet just next door.
Yes.
And he had a bed, and then they make down another bed for her to rest.
Wow. And
the food was cooked into the daddy's uncle's house, and then they carried to our grandma's house. She was really nice. And when we are learning this cooking, when we're doing cooking like girls, when they buy beef, they cut a piece of beef and they ask, who is cooking? And they give us a piece of beef. And we had these big tins which we use to cook, and we cook our native food, like with the leaves and what. And we make fire, and we cook. And then when it is ready, we go to our grandma, we say food is ready. He pulls out everything with plates and what, and we sit down like eating a meal. And he says, who cooked today? They say so and so. Oh, thank you for cooking. And another one will say, but your beef was hard. It needed somebody.
What was the environment like where you lived?
Small houses, it was okay. It was small houses. I remember one day with the tanks on the sides for collect water for the rain.
Yeah.
From the rain. And my mom, when I went to the boarding school, I came back home and I found my mom was put on weight. Wow. And I said, my God. And I said, my God, my mom is really big now. I think that is why she did have the pressure and whatever. we took her. Yeah.
Can you tell me the environment when you was growing up and where you lived in Kampala? What were your neighbours like?
With mom had friends, and mom had very good friends. He was working, and he really had friends.
Yeah.
And I used to have to pray with the other, nurses. They live in 2 quarters, and I used to pray with the friends there. Some of them I don't remember them. Some of them I saw them, and there's one lady in here I met with her in London, and said, we are not just friends. We are sisters. We grew up together." Yeah, but the bad thing is Jehovah's Witness, and me, I don't believe in Jehovah's Witnesses.
And was the Jehovah's Witnesses in the area that you lived?
No, I think he turned when he came this way. She came this way because I didn't know that she was a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Uganda, was it just Christians that you had as friends?
No, in Uganda, my mom was a Protestant.
Okay.
My dad was a Catholic. So as I grew up, by the time I started understanding, I grew up with my mom at home. I sing mom's songs, those Anglican church songs. And when I go back to school, is a Catholic, then I go with the Catholic.
Wow.
But when I grew up, I left all the Catholic. Now I'm a born-again Christian.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
And did you have any Muslim or Hindu or Sikh
Yeah,
friends?
we had, in the family, we had the Muslims. There's a grandpa, I don't know, he was on mommy's side. He used to come home, and he was so stubborn. I think he had something in his head. He comes with his cup, and he doesn't want you to wash it. You just make cup of tea into his cup, and he could pull the big chair and put it in the front of that door to look outside.
Wow. And was that your granddad?
No, he wasn't. I don't know what relationship. He was our one of our grands, but I don't know relationship with the mom. I don't know about that. But he was related to my mom.
What did you used to do in your spare time in Uganda?
My spare time, I used to go clubbing. I used to drink, but not too much. I would drink a bottle of beer or 2. But because friendship, when I don't go there, when they see my kids go to the shops, they say, "Is your mom there?" They say, "Tell her even if she hasn't got money, let her come here."
Yeah.
We will give her a drink. And they used to give me a drink, but I found I made a lot of friends, but they didn't know my name.
Wow.
Because I was I was supporting a football team.
Okay.
So they were calling me that team.
What was the team name?
Express.
Express. Okay.
They were calling me Express.
Okay.
And the others, because my skin is light, they were calling me Brown. But to see somebody now, I met one in London and he called me Kazungu. Kazungu means white. So that one, I knew very well that he's the person we used to club with. Yeah, and I came here when I'm still drinking.
Okay.
But I was already Christian.
Okay.
And I was drinking a bottle. I could go clubbing and dance because the people I was staying with, they could take me there.
How old was you?
When I came here?
When you was clubbing?
When I was clubbing there, I was about 20, 25, 26 there.
Can you tell me more about the food that you had? And you said you cooked your native food. Can you tell me anything
green
about
bananas.
Okay.
Our main food is green bananas, and then you can see sweet potatoes, cassava, then other yams, and what else comes after. But the main one is green bananas. Yeah.
By which age did you leave living at your auntie's after your mum passed away and move away from her?
From my aunt?
Yeah.
I told you when I got pregnant.
When you got pregnant at the age of?
Age of
23, I think you said.
20, Yeah, 20. Was it 20? 23, 21, 22, 23.
22.
Somewhere there.
And after you left school?
It was 21st.
Okay.
When I was 21 years, I think. Because I left 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
So just to go back to school, when you finished schooling, did you get a job?
When I finished school and I got pregnant, I stayed home first, and then I tried to start working, but with the kids.
What kind of work did you try to do?
I tried to join the Bank of Uganda to go into the counting money, in this money which I don't know, Bank of Uganda, yes. Not in a banking word, but down which money comes from other banks. I tried to get that job, but I did it. I think I did it 2 months or 2, and then they transferred to Ginger, and I tried to travel from Kampala to Ginger every day, and I said no, with my kids, no. So I dropped out, and I stayed with my kids for some time.
Where did you stay with your child? Which town was you in?
We stayed in Mbuya with the person who was yeah, we stayed together. He was really very, 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 very naughty. And I remember when one day he went working, and I knew this time it's coming. And I finished dealing with the kids, and I took a shower, do my makeup, change dress, and sat into the sitting room.
Yeah.
And when he came back, he said, "Where are you going somewhere?"
And you did this for him?
And I said, "No." And he thought I was going. I had a plan, so he took me out.
Ah.
And I said, "Oh, then I'll be doing this." And we stayed together.
How long was you with him?
I was with him for, I think, 7 years.
What was his name?
His name was... I don't want to say the name.
That's absolutely fine. It's not a problem.
But his name, the name was, his surname was like my father's name.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened after 7 years?
After 7 years, we separated.
How many children did you have?
I had 4.
Okay.
4 for him. I had 4 for him. And that is when it is they are trying to disturb, so I decided to come this way. Yeah.
It's very interesting you talk about clans.
Mm.
So, in Uganda, in your family, was there different clans, and did you have any kind of special?
No, we have one clan, like I say.
What was the name?
I think it is Back. I don't know, Back or Antelope. Antelope.
Okay.
Antelope. Mm.
And what was different about your clan compared to somebody else's?
Because others can be sheep.
Okay.
Another one can be cow. Like that.
That you looked after them, or
Hmm?
did you look after these animals, or was that just...
No, it is just that is a clan. You know, they say, because I'm from Uganda
Yeah.
with the king, so got his 52 clans. Others are monkey, what?
Different.
Oh, different.
Okay, I
understand.
understand.
Yeah. So, for our clan, we are antelope.
Antelopes, okay.
Yeah.
So, somebody many years ago, somebody from your clan, could they marry somebody from a different clan? Was that allowed?
Yeah.
Not a
You
problem.
you can't marry into your clan.
No, okay.
You marry a different clan. Like me, I can get married with somebody with a sheep clan, or monkey clan, or whatever clan. Mm.
That's interesting.
Yes.
That's it. When did you decide to become a born-again Christian? Was this in Uganda?
Yeah, it was in
What
Uganda.
happened?
It was in Uganda after losing my dad and my young my young brother, and the dad of my kids. I said, what do I do? Better be born again, you see. And AIDS had come.
Okay.
AIDS
had come.
AIDS had come. And these people, they call you, give you a drink, and then they want to pray on you.
Yes.
And they say no. So we used to go to church in the morning at 8 to 8 at night.
Wow. When you say we, who was we?
My kids.
You and your children. How old were your children at this time?
Oh, they were young, and they go and just make bed for them there to sleep. Some could stay, and some could. I don't know. But it was nice because I was with them.
Yes.
I was with them, so.
Can you remember the ages of the children?
I remember I had a baby.
Had a baby.
I had a baby, but my kids, the first one was just 1 year.
Okay.
And another one, no. The first one was, I had 2 years between.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second one, or the third one, they were almost 1 year. Then I had a baby.
It was a very long day from 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock to be in the church.
Yeah, but I go with the food, and I had a friend. We go together and we cook. We cook our chapatis, and we cook, or have big flasks with the tea, and flask with porridge for the kids, and the milk. And we carry them. We go there and sit. The kids, we so many bottles. But when I came here, they were taking me to clubbing and try to say I don't have.
Can you tell me what are the most memorable things that you remember about your country?
What I remember about my country is the war, 1986.
Okay.
1986. We were struggling. We ran this way, was it 96? 96.
What can you tell me about the war in 1986?
We were scared. We bought food, and people were trying to run away, and they fear their things to be rooted. But for us, we stayed in town, and we bought our food. You know the bath.
Yeah.
That small door of the bath. We put the newspapers there, and we
in the bathroom.
In the bathroom, and we hide our food under there.
Under the bath.
Under the bath.
Wow.
And we were eating only one meal a day.
How old was you? Can you remember?
Yeah, I was born in 63. Now count 86. I was 21.
How old was you when the war started there?
I wouldn't know, but I know Museveni entered that year, 86. And one of my daughter by that time had tense rights, and I thought the child is going to die. The temperature was too much, but when they throw those bombs and the grass goes.
Wow.
We couldn't think that we would survive, but we survived.
How long did the war go on for? Can you remember?
No, not very much, because I remember they took my car. They stole my car. The army.
Okay.
They looted my car from where we were staying. They took my car, and they were driving it, and somebody said they are driving it and they have put mud on it. I said, let the car go and let me stay with my life. I don't want even to know. Don't tell me that it is there.
Yeah.
So I left. I couldn't mind it. And because I had a relative who was in the army, he saw the car and he came to my door, and I said, I don't want anybody to come. I don't want anybody to come. And he said, your car is is thrown somewhere there. Do you want it here? I said, no, I don't want. If you feel you want to save me, take it to your place. I don't want to get involved.
So you're in a country now and a war has started.
Mm.
Prices must have gone very high for everything.
Yeah.
How did you cope?
We didn't buy anything. You didn't have where to buy. What we had is what we stocked.
Wow.
Is what we had to budget. We were just eating to survive, not to get satisfied.
Hmm.
You see. And when the war came, we still had some meals to eat.
What was your daily routine when this was going on? Can you remember?
Daily routine is just to wake up and we look into the window. All the curtains were drawn.
Yeah.
Look into that window and we see. Yoweri Museveni used these young children. They come on these toy bicycles.
Yes.
Into the
garden.
No, to the crossroads.
Yeah.
What do we say then? Mm-hmm. And we say, what does these parents think of? They leave their kids to be out when things are like this.
Yeah.
And we were wondering, what type of parents? I wouldn't allow mine.
No.
Oh,
When the war was on, I don't want to upset you, but what was the most upsetting thing that you saw happen with your eyes?
no, I didn't say anything, and
That's good.
because I didn't go out at all. But I remember talking to my sister who was in Kenya. By that time, I said, we are here. We are just scared if the water goes and what. And he was laughing and said, you drink your urine. Correct your urine.
Oh dear.
And she was laughing because she was not a carefree woman.
Yeah.
But the loud over that bombs and what you can feel as if they have hit the next house.
Yes.
You get scared and every time you walk.
Yes.
Eh?
Did you lose any extended family?
That is when my dad passed away.
I'm sorry.
That is when they hit my dad. They did. They shot him and my brother. My brother, but
When you say
my step brother.
Right.
They were staying together. They were both killed. Yeah.
So you survived through being there whilst the war was on?
Mm.
And what happened after once it finished?
The war, when it was finished, the life went on, but we were all skinny, like those who were size 12 were 8. I was size 8. And we all went to meeting each other. Oh, we survived. And the dead bodies were on the street. You wouldn't like to walk.
Wow.
When you walk like men, they were used to lift the dead bodies.
Mm.
So people didn't want to go out. When somebody says, when you go out, they make you lift the dead bodies.
Yeah.
We stayed in for some time.
When did you find out about your father and your brother?
I remember I wanted to know about my uncle's place because we used to go to my uncle's, and I tried to find out whether they survived, and they said no, your dad, because my dad had left where the house where he used to stay.
Okay, what did he have, sorry?
He had left the place where he used to stay.
He left, yeah.
And he came and just rented somewhere in the town somewhere. So when I asked where my grandma was staying, they told me that your dad and your brother, and they temporarily put them to rest near the church, where they after the stabilization, then they took the bones to another area. We in Uganda, we have like clans and houses, like you say, this house, they have where they bury their dead bodies. Whoever dies into that family, the body is taken somewhere to rest.
And this was the same for your dad and your brother?
They were taken. But
who took them?
The family.
The family.
The family, as you know, are extended families, and they all gather. No, we can't leave this one to stay there. We have to, and they gather themselves.
And so, just going back to the war finished, and you found out, unfortunately, about your dad and your brother.
Yeah.
how did life start to become normal again for you?
It wasn't that much normal, but you know, people, you survive. At least you say, I didn't die.
Yeah.
I didn't die. Life goes on. And we continue to do whatever we wanted to do. Yeah, and we survived. Yeah.
Talk to me about your feelings of what you felt when you walked back into the streets and saw that everything was destroyed.
Oh, I went to town and I found the town deserted. And then you start, it doesn't end like that because there's some shootings. And when shootings start, you start trying to find the shortest way to get home because we were walking. You couldn't drive because the car was taken. So you walk and then you start that life walking, going, coming back. I was staying near. So, and people started to come in because they want to look for money.
Okay.
You know, and when it starts, pop, 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 they close quickly. They fear people to come and root their things. Everybody was just protecting their own things. But me, by that time, I was in the bank.
You was where, sorry?
I was working with the bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good that you was working.
I was working with the bank by that time. And started to do some work with the bank. And when we go on and we get in, sometimes they are just trying to organize how they fear to pull out the till.
Okay.
The till boxes to start opening. But they are saying, you listen, we are going to announce, da 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 da. And then when we announce, you come. If we might announce and they announce again. So be attentive, be on the radio.
What was they announcing for?
They announce you start working.
To start working and then to stop working.
No, we are
when
not.
you had to stop working in the bank,
Yeah.
in that daytime, what did you do?
I told you when after that I was
Not on the day in the bank. You know how you said they announced that you
No,
can start
they
counting and then you stop
No.
counting?
They tell us to listen when we're at home. They will be calling us to start working.
Sorry, I see. I understand.
Yeah, to start working. Or they might call us to start working and there's some
I understand.
something happening and then they stop us, don't come.
Okay.
So they were saying,
Yes.
listen and be on the phone. Charge your phones.
Yes.
We can call.
Wow.
It was really
Very
scaring. It was scaring. It was. And you could see people walking with the guns and what.
Was this the soldiers or the people that lived there?
The soldiers walking. Because they were all scared. They are looking. They knew there are some people hiding there. And anytime you hear,
Wow.
yeah. But when I came here,
What made you come to UK?
that one I don't want to talk about it.
That's absolutely fine. In which year did you come to UK?
I started in London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which year was it you came?
In 1999.
So before those years you lived in Uganda.
Yes.
You were saying that you first came to London.
Yeah.
And you was on your own and you came to London.
In 1999.
Okay.
And when I came, I stayed in Noblin.
Okay.
Noblin in London. I stayed there with the young people who wants to go dancing, clubbing. And I tell them, I was young. because I was around 36 years, and but I had turned into that born again Christian. I'm trying to.
When you first came to UK, before you came to UK, what did you think it was going to be like?
No, I thought it was okay because I had people. I had my relatives over here.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be. Some of them denied me to stay with them. But the one I was staying with was carefree. But
Was that a relative?
Yeah, it was a relative and with a husband. But the husband, the girl was not well behaved.
Okay.
She was mistreating the husband, but the husband was very nice. He could say, "Auntie, can I make you a cup of tea?"
Oh.
And I said, "No, a woman is not a visitor.
Yeah.
I'll make it myself.
Yeah.
You can't make me a tea when I'm here. I'm not going tomorrow. I've come to stay."
Yeah.
And he said, no, let me do it today. Then you do it tomorrow. See, that is the one who, whenever he goes to work, he was just delivering things. I could say, "David, we don't have a can of beer in the fridge." He said, "Is it?" "Yeah." I asked him, "What time are you coming back?" "I'm coming back at 12. Lying.
Okay.
So he goes and buy the beers and put them into the van. And when he comes, I'm sleeping at 2. He comes and say, "Auntie." I say, "I can't drink now. I've been sleeping."
What was his name?
David.
David, and his wife's name?
Grace.
David. Did they have any children?
Yes, they had children.
How old were their children?
Their children were 4, 5,
How
and
many?
a baby.
Did they have 3 children?
Yeah.
Okay. So how long did you live with them for in London?
I stayed with them for a long time. And then...
Can you remember how long that was?
I think I stayed with them since I came to 2007. Then there was somebody who was going to Uganda. Wanted me to look after her house.
Oh, that's lovely.
And then I went and...
Was that still in London as well?
Yes, it was still in London. And I went and stayed into their house for a long time. And when they said they are going to start business there.
In Uganda?
In Uganda. Okay. And if it goes well, they were thinking of going back.
Yeah.
But I think it didn't go well. After 3, they came back.
After 3 weeks?
No, 3 years.
3 years. So you stayed there for 3 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then they came back, and when they came back, I stayed with them. But it was a big family. I couldn't. That's why I decided to come to Manchester.
Okay.
By 2011.
Did you know anybody in Manchester?
I didn't know anybody in Manchester, but there was a lady who had a house. She bought in Manchester, and it was free. And he said, "You can go and make my house look like a house."
Oh.
And he brought us. But when he brought us into the house, she was saying she's going to stay. She's looking for a job. After lying, after we stayed, she went back to London, and the house, the windows were not closing. It was cold. It was horrible. The ceiling is falling, and when my church came, they said, anyway, there's a person she knew who connected us to the church where I met with Stephen. So
Stephen, your husband, yes?
Yeah. So the pastor came and said, you can't stay to this house. This house is really, no, you can't stay here. Then he found us somewhere to stay. The person was going to Uganda and stay there because he lost the wife. He was looking for another wife there, and we stayed into the house with the children. Children were big. One was in the university, one was in a college, and we stayed with them.
Which year did you and Stephen get married?
We had our blessings in 2014, in Valentine's Day.
Lovely.
And after blessings, we stayed together. Then I started putting in my application with the Home Office, and they said they don't accept those blessings. They want the registration. And then we applied. They didn't answer. They kept us waiting. We stayed together. And when we were staying together, I was being helped with a charity, Revive. Revive was helping me to put in the application because I didn't have money, and Stephen is having very little money. The Revive helped, and they asked Stephen, if you apply first and have the British passport, things will be easy for you and Teddy to get married. But as you see, he's not well. Doesn't see it like we see it.
So you lived in Manchester for a while.
Yeah.
And then you came to Rochdale. Is that right? Or did you go somewhere else first?
No. We lived in Manchester. We met in 2013, and when we got the blessings, then I moved in with Stephen in Haywood.
Okay, how did you find life in Haywood?
Haywood, I wouldn't say I found it. I didn't like much about Haywood, and we didn't stay long. Then we moved. 2014, we moved to Middleton, where we have been for all our time since 2014 April up to 17th December this year. Yeah.
When you lived in Middleton and lived in London and Manchester, all these different places, what was the thing that you missed the most about Uganda?
About Uganda, not very much, because I miss only my children, and I speak to them. I didn't see them growing. I left them very young. But they are very, 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 very good children, because they comforted me, said, "Mommy, we are grown up now."
How old are they now, if you don't mind me asking?
Now?
Yeah.
Now they are grown up, 27, they are grown up, they are all working. They are all working. I've just been talking to one who called me and said now they is having a hotel. He said with this COVID and this voting they are killing people, police are shooting into people. We are not doing much. what I'm doing is cakes for birthdays, weddings, and then I get money to be able to pay for the premises where she's staying. And they were sometimes sending me some money here.
That's very kind of them.
Because they knew that I'm not working.
And are you on any benefits at the moment?
No.
What do you get a week? How much money do you get?
I don't. I'm not allowed in public funds. That is on my card.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to see the solicitor said after 1 year we should have applied for you to work. When you I claimed asylum, he said you should have been working.
Yeah.
But the card got finished. My ID card expired in October.
Oh dear.
I went in September before it expired, and the solicitor wrote to them and asked them to give me permission to work and to give me another card. They haven't replied up to this time.
And is the Home Office helping you financially?
No. It is charities. The charities. Because I was working with a charity before this COVID. There's a charity I'm helping 2 days a week, Tuesday and
Which
Thursday.
charity is that?
It is they call all the black what? African, all the black African day activities.
That's fantastic.
I ran because both of them, the managing director and the other one, they are working, all of them. So it is me who is managing that charity.
Wonderful.
And I was cooking food for them. But they were just starting. They were about 3-4 people attending. I take games, we play games, and I cook them tea, meals, and they give me some money.
Are you happy to still be in Rochdale, or should I say, are you happy to be in UK, or do you wish you was back in Uganda?
No, I'm happy to be in the UK because I've got a lovely husband there.
Yeah.
I've got a lovely husband, though he has got some illnesses, but he's lovely. He has been there for me. And people tried in a way to say, oh, those Africans, they are looking for papers. He said, no, not Teddy. Yeah, and he has been really in love, though he hasn't got money, but he struggles to see that I'm happy.
If you could live in Uganda with Stephen, would you do that?
In Uganda, Stephen cannot manage Uganda.
Why would you say that?
Because there is no benefits.
Okay.
And there he cannot work. Life is hard. He can't. He can go and visit just 1 week, and I don't think with him he can stay there a week.
So now that you're here, you're going to your church, you do charity work.
Yes.
What would you like to do in the future?
I would like to work.
What kind of work would you like to do?
I can do any work. Recently, I studied the food and hygiene level 2, and I have got a certificate with the virtual college, and I started safeguarding adult level 3, and I've got a certificate, and I did health and safety handling, and I've got a certificate.
Well done.
I've
Well
got
done.
3 certificates in this pandemic.
You've worked hard and you've made the most of the time.
Yeah, and if they give me, the Home Office can let me free, I would take about care. But because of this, I don't think I can do the sitting in like people who wants them can go and help somebody to feed during the relatives when they are out to work. That's all.
You'd like to be a carer.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like the listeners to remember you by from this interview?
I beg your pardon?
Is there anything you would like the listeners to remember you by from me and you talking today?
Oh, about what? They will remember me that I'm more, oh, I don't know how to put it. I'm a survivor.
You are.
I'm a survivor because all these 20 years here,
Yes.
and still now I can still smile and look after somebody.
Yes.
I'm a survivor.
And I wish you and Stephen all the very, very best.
Oh.
And from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to say thank you so much for your time.
And thank you very much for showing us love.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Teddy.
Thank you, Sabada.